The officials, Daryl Garrison, who worked game 2, Ed T. Rush, who also worked the second game, and Dick Pavetta, who was on hand for game 1. And Pavetta tosses it. It's controlled by New York. John Starks met immediately by Vernon Maxwell. Derek Harper being played by Kenny Smith. Smith all over Harper here at the start. Harper fires and hits.
Much more aggressive, however, defensively by the Houston Rockets, getting all over people, but a nice step-back move by Derek Harper to free himself from the pressure of Kenny Smith.
And at the other end, it's Harper playing Smith. Horry played by Charles Smith. Here's Akeem Olajuwon, who was tackled by Charles Oakley.
Patrick Ewing loses his balance here defensively as he initially tried to get around and front Olajuwon, and then in trying to recover and get behind him, he lost his footing. Charles Oakley recognized that and came over to commit the foul before Olajuwon was in the act of shooting.
Kenny Smith, the subject of much conversation the past couple of days from both the Knicks and his teammates, who would like to see him get back into the series. Here's Maxwell, recovered the dribble, shoots it's a bad shot from a tough angle. Recovered by Olajuwon. Starks knocked it away, kicked out of bounds by Maxwell.
It was a bad shot, Marv, but the best rebound on the Knicks, Charles Oakley, took off and released, and the ball got slapped around, and momentarily the Rockets got it back.
Remember, in game number 4, the Knicks got off to that 17-2 start. They were intent on opening up with a good spurt. Otis Thorpe called for the foul.
Well, Otis Thorpe matched up with Charles Smith, trying to keep contact on the baseline. Kind of a foolish foul by Otis Thorpe, who tends to get in foul trouble anyway. Charles Smith, you'd like to just see him go away from the basket and shoot a jump shot.
Charles Smith coming up short, and it's rebounded by Robert Horry. Vernon Maxwell gets it down. And the call away from the ball, it's against Smith.
Well, right away in transition, the Rockets going to their first big man down, posting up. This time it was Otis Thorpe. And with Charles Smith trying to front him and body him, referee Eddie Rush wanting to clean the post play up very quickly.
Just underway, minute and a half gone by. Knicks 2 and the Rockets nothing. Horry off the spear. Shot deflected short by Ewing. Off the steal, Ewing gets it back. And then is fouled. No, they call it the other way. It's on Ewing. Ewing called for the offensive foul, pushing out with the left hand.
Patrick trying to clear himself out of the backcourt and get a handle on the basketball. After this miss by Olajuwon, gets all tangled up with Maxwell and pushes off clearly with the left arm. A cheap foul by Patrick Ewing.
Ewing fronting Olajuwon. Horry for 3. Smith taking advantage of the overplay, sets up Ewing. And Patrick Ewing misses on his first attempt. Here's Starks. Rebounded by Olajuwon. Maxwell on the open floor. Starks back. Oakley for Harper. Charles Oakley had 20 rebounds the other night. Harper with a beautiful ball fake. What a move by Derek Harper. The Rockets back in a hurry. Smith for 3. And that has to feel very good for Kenny Smith. Bad pass. And it comes back to the Rockets.
Well, Derek Harper in the open floor, going to look off the defense here with the ball fake as well, as he totally had Kenny Smith going the other way. But the Rockets coming right back at New York, as Houston has made no secret about it. They want to get out and run. They do not want to play that slow, plodding, walk the ball up the floor type of game, which the New York Knicks flourish in.
Here's Thorpe. So the Rockets have taken a 5-4 lead. 3 minutes gone by. on Maxwell. Smith for three. Charles Smith usually does not look to shoot the three-pointer. Olajuwon went down. Thorpe went to the fadeaway. Oakley looking for the move and then pop from outside. Olajuwon pulls it down.
Not really a good shot by Charles Oakley. First time he really got his hands on the ball. He just waited for everybody to clear out of there just to put up a jump shot. He's been releasing from the defensive end, trying to get out and get him maybe an easy basket.
Well, the Rockets swinging it. Oh, nice play. Olajuwon getting inside. Pretty pass from Horry. Rockets 7, Knicks 4.
Well, the ball just moved so quickly. No way the rotating New York defense could catch up, and eventually the easy lay-in for Olajuwon.
Ewing again from way out. Rockets lead 7-6.
Plenty of room for Patrick Ewing there from about 19 feet away. Stepped into that shot, no hesitation at all.
Smith on the steal. John Starks got the step. John Starks, like Derek Harper, has played very well. 20 points for Starks in game 4, 11 in the fourth quarter, including 2 late three-pointers. The Knicks lead 8-7. 5 minutes gone by. Olajuwon. Ewing with the rebound. Harper off the fake. Sets up Oakley. Yes. The Knicks lead 10-7.
And a much better shot there by Charles Oakley on the penetration on the semi-break by Harper, and the little kick out on that last pick and roll for the Rockets on the penetration by the guard and the kick out for the jump shot for Olajuwon. That's what he wants more. He wants more of that kind of pass so he can either shoot it or drive it.
Olajuwon beat Oakley, who gambled going for the steal.
And a wise decision by Patrick Ewing not to challenge that shot or commit his second personal foul, as Olajuwon clearly in the air ready to tomahawk that thing.
The Knicks call for time. 6 minutes, 22 seconds remaining in this first quarter, and the Knicks lead by 1.
Oakley getting caught on the top side, the good pass, and the powerful finish by Hakeem Olajuwon.
As we touched on earlier, coming into tonight, the Rockets guards have been severely outplayed by the Knicks backcourt, and we talked about that with Hakeem Olajuwon.
I think Kenny Smith and Sam Cassell just have to relax and play basketball. I think they put a lot of pressure on themselves because this is a championship game, and sometimes when you look at it as a championship game, you get too serious where you can't really relax and play a game. And that's what I was telling Kenny. Just be aggressive, play with confidence, and just have fun out there.
Well, one of the things different for the Houston team is Kenny Smith is getting up and applying full court pressure on Derek Harper, if for no other reason, make him work harder in getting the ball up the floor, because Harper has been killing Smith at the other end.
Knicks 10, Rockets 9. 5:45 remaining in this opening quarter. Ewing gets inside, and it's a goaltend. The basket will count. It was pinned on the glass.
A little bump here by Olajuwon to try to impede Ewing's progress, and he put that shot was actually going to be short, but it was on its way down. A good call by the officials on the goaltend by Thorpe.
Knicks by 3. Thorpe setting up high against Oakley. Chant of defense from this capacity crowd. Shot clock at 2. It's down to 1. Horry has to fling it and hits. Three-pointer for Robert Horry, who is looking just fine after bruising his back and both wrists. Injured in the fall, hit by Anthony Mason on that hard foul. Strong move by Charles Smith. And the Knicks now lead 14-12.
Well, the Rockets had started out defensively with Thorpe guarding Smith, which is a little bit of a change-up. He had been guarding Oakley earlier in the series, and that time Charles Smith with a power move in the lane Just went right by Otis Thorpe.
Maxwell. Ewing stepped aside, did not want to pick up the foul, and Vernon Maxwell has tied the game at 14. The Knicks have hit 5 of the last 6 shots. Ewing. That shot altered by Olajuwon.
And we have not seen much of that shot in this series. Patrick likes it. He got pushed out a little bit further than he'd like to be.
Oh, what a move by Olajuwon, but he lost the grip. Beautiful pass for Starks. What a delivery.
An incredible pass right down the middle of the floor. Hit the floor perfectly and right into the hands of Starks.
Smith came up short on that three-point attempt. Knicks lead by 2. Oakley. This is the best basketball we've seen all series from the offensive point of view at both ends of the floor.
Well, because it's wide open basketball. Both teams looking to run early. Marv, I have a feeling it'll slow down somewhere down the road, but it's fun to watch right now.
Knicks by 4. Pass intended for Thorpe. That's the 4th turnover for Akeem in this first quarter.
Well, he had plenty of room to make that pass as Ewing was not pressuring, but just a terrific defensive job by Oakley to body out Otis Thorpe and force the turnover.
Starks. The Knicks by 6, and the Rockets call for time.
Take a look at this outlet pass by Charles Oakley right down the heart of the floor. Hits the floor perfectly, and John Starks catches in stride for the breakaway layup.
Well, Pat Riley, the 7th man in NBA history to coach at least 2 different franchises in the NBA Finals. Pat hoping to join Matt Guokas' first coach, one Alex Hannum, as the only 2 men to coach champions with 2 different teams. Alex Hannum won titles in 1958 in St. Louis and in 1967 in Philadelphia. Pat Riley winning titles with the Lakers on 4 occasions.
Well, I learned a lot in those 2 years with Alex Hannum in Philadelphia. I was with a primarily veteran team. Most of the players would not sit near him on the bench, so I was pushed up there. But it was quite an education.
In effect, you would sit next to him to get playing time.
No, I had a nice, comfortable seat there for much of the year. I eventually got a little playing time.
Eric Hopper called for the foul, his first. 3:09 remaining in this first quarter. The Knicks 20 and the Rockets 14. 6 straight points by the Knicks. Game had been tied at 14. But the pass broken up by Charles Smith. Starks for 3. And back comes Kenny Smith. Horry played on a switch by Ewing. Olajuwon met by the double team, and the crowd reacts to the switch. Here's Horry. Nice feed. 4th from Horry. And the Knicks now lead 20-16.
Well, defensive aggressiveness got the Knicks in trouble that time. They played excellently for much of the shot clock there, but over-aggressiveness enabled the Rockets to break the defense down, get penetration for the easy layup.
Eric Hopper made some strong statements regarding Kenny Smith yesterday. Hopper said he doesn't think that Smith likes ball pressure. He said, you can bother some guys. And Kenny is one of those guys, and Hopper has been all over Kenny Smith. It's really as Maxwell sends Starks to the floor, and a foul is called. Offensive foul on Maxwell.
Well, so far, John Starks has played excellent defense in a team variety, and here, stepping over, trying to get into the path of Vernon Maxwell, and John has done a terrific job throughout this series and really throughout his career of faking the officials out. He did it once again by flopping there, but getting the call.
Anthony Mason has come on for Charles Oakley. Mason has been a huge factor in this series. And Hubert Davis, who did not play at all in Game 4, only 1 for 7 of the series, has come on. Harper again. Derek Harper to this point has been the most valuable player of the finals. He has put together 3 terrific games, something he did not do at all during the regular season, putting 3 straight back-to-back-to-back since coming over from Dallas. Olajuwon. Hakeem Olajuwon with his 3rd field goal. He has 6 points, and the Knicks are up by 4. We come up on 1 minute left in the first quarter. Marv Albert, Matt Dukas, Ahmad Rashad, Hannah Storm, Bob Costas from Madison Square Garden. Mason with the save, just to keep it in bounds. Shot clock down to 6. Here's Harper on a crossover. Thorpe with the rebound, pegs it down. Too deep for Kenny Smith. And the ball goes back to the Knicks.
Where were you and I headed when Mason started coming to midcourt?
I was on 7th Avenue.
I was on your heels. I didn't know you were that quick.
Yes, Anthony getting too close. I have seen too many collisions here at center court close up, particularly with Mason and Oakley involved. Kenny Smith sitting down, hit a 3-pointer, 1 for 2 from the field. Carl Herrera, Sam Cassell have checked in. Good play by Horry to knock it away. Here's Cassell feeding Herrera. The basket will count, and the foul.
Well, Charles Smith not protecting the basketball as Robert Horry reaches in and starts yet another fast break for the Houston Rockets. That's their 5th point on the break, as they have made a concerted effort, the Rockets that is, to run as much as possible. They should run. They are very quick. They have a good defensive rebounding team, but they are not committed to it, and they don't do it all the time. And really throughout this series, they've kind of been sucked in by the Knicks to play that slow down type of game.
And that was the first free throw of the game. Hubert Davis called for the foul. Half-minute left in this first quarter. The Knicks 22, Rockets 21. Harper now guarded by Cassell. Off the spin, he almost lost him. Ewing. Rockets wanted a traveling violation. Ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Rockets.
Rockets going to their little trap after the free throw. That's the 2nd time they've used it in the game, and it takes the Knicks out of what they want to do, breaks up their timing, and disrupts a little bit. But Ewing almost got a good shot on that play.
Shot clock at 5. Mason for Ewing. Davis gets inside. 5 seconds to go in the quarter. Herrera off the intercept. Cassell checking the clock. After 1, the Knicks 22 and the Rockets 21. Good start for that man. Derek Harper, 3 out of 5, 6 points, 3 assists. We'll be back at the Garden in a moment. Well, it was a rocky regular season at times for Anthony Mason, but it has certainly turned positive in the playoffs. Now, this was the scene back on April 19th at Madison Square Garden. Anthony Mason sitting on the bench the entire second half of a Knicks loss against Atlanta. He was benched. Mason had expressed his displeasure in the media, questioning Pat Riley's offensive decisions. And this, as you can imagine, extremely upsetting to Riley, who then suspended Mason for the last 3 regular season games for what was turned conduct detrimental to the team. But then going right down to the deadline, Riley did reinstate Mason in time for the playoffs. We discussed this with Pat Riley.
The Anthony Mason situation was a real critical point for our team, and not from the standpoint that that Mace, was suspended, and it really wasn't about that. It was about, bringing him back to the team. I did not want to hold the team hostage. Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, the veteran players that wanted to win a championship. I did not want to hold them hostage to a disciplinary decision that could really cost them the manpower that we needed to win.
And Matt, that was the first time that Pat Riley had ever suspended a player in his 12 years of coaching in the NBA.
Well, I think it was time that he felt it was time to send a message not only to Anthony Mason but to everybody else on the ball club that showed that he does listen to other people and is not always looking to control everything. He let his players help make the decision of bringing Anthony back.
Patrick Ewing with the foul. That's his third field goal. He's 3 of 7, 6 points. Second quarter just underway. Knicks lead 24-21. Mario Elie has come on for the first time for the Rockets. Cassell throwing in a crowd. A bad pass picked up by Ewing that he lost to Cassell. Open shot for Cassell. Sam Cassell now having a discussion with Carl Herrera about that last errant pass, which is not appreciated by Herrera. Greg Anthony on the floor for the first time. He and Hubert Davis at the guards. Charles Oakley, Patrick Ewing, and Anthony Mason up front. They're doubling up on Ewing with Olajuwon getting a rest on the bench. Here's Anthony. Ewing with a spectacular windmill stuff.
Well, he guessed right, Marv. He started from about 2 steps beyond the free throw line, just took off, and he figured if it's anywhere up there, either right or left hand, I'm going to try to jam this through.
26-23 Knicks. Elie open for the 3, and he's tied the game at 3. Mario Elie, a New York City product who has not played much during the course of this series, but the feeling is he could get the time here tonight. Game tied at 26. Again, the double team on Ewing. Crowd wanting a foul as Mason pulled his way inside. Knicks lead by 2.
Of course, the Knicks getting a lot of baskets inside right now with Olajuwon sitting on the bench. Just not enough bulk, strength, or lift in the Rockets' front line right now.
Cassell for Herrera. And a pretty shot by Carl Herrera over Patrick Ewing. He's tied the game at 28. 3 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Ewing. Come on, down! Herrera again gets inside. And Carl Herrera, who had the outstanding game in the opener of this series, is now 3 of 3 from the field off the bench for a quick 7.
I think Pat Riley's waiting for a TV timeout here. Really, Patrick Ewing is tired right now, even though he had a couple of follow-ups. I noticed he was breathing heavily, leaning over, pulling on his shorts. Probably needs a breather.
Mason. Game is tied at 30. Rockets in the midst of a good spree. They've hit their last 4 shots. Cassell. Rebound hustle down by Anthony. Mason saw the opening.
Again, Anthony Mason realizes there's nobody except maybe Robert Horry who can get up in the air and knock his shot away, and he's using his body very nicely to get easy little baby hooks.
6 points for Mason, and the Knicks are up 32-30. Shot clock at 5. Herrera. Again, 9 points for Carl Herrera. And he is now the high man of the game. The game is tied at 32, and the Knicks take a timeout.
Off this shot and miss by Greg Anthony, Patrick Ewing took off from just about the foul line. They're ready to go up with either hand, and he has to reach back with the left to follow it in.
Back at Madison Square Garden, Carl Herrera has entered this game with a burst, 9 points in 4.5 minutes. Carl Herrera, the first Venezuelan to play in the NBA. He had been a star on the Venezuelan national team. They do get these games on television in his home country, Venezuela. We asked Carl, has he heard from friends and family in Venezuela?
I had a couple of calls from my families and from my friends, and I guess if we win this NBA title, it's going to be a real big party over there, same as Houston. I mean, they're going to everybody's going to be in the streets. You know, they're going to have a lot of fun.
Carl gave the Rockets a big lift in game one, making 5 out of 6 field goals, but really has been very quiet ever since. Did not get much playing time in game two, just the way things fell in that second and fourth quarter for the Houston Rockets, making a big impact here tonight.
Sam Cassell called for the foul. Chris Gent has checked in for the first time, replacing Robert Horry. Gent, a 6'7" rookie out of Ohio State, a late addition to the Rocket squad during the regular season. A wild shot by Oakley, and he got the roll to give the Knicks a 34-32 lead.
Well, he was hollering out mismatch. I got one inside. He wanted to take the ball in there. It's not normally a good situation for Charles Oakley, but he felt he could score on Chris Gent inside.
Gent with the ball, guarded now by Charles Smith. Hakeem Olajuwon back on the floor. Gent has the touch from deep. Came up short on that three-pointer. Back comes Mason. Mason saw the opening, called for the charge. Offensive foul.
A little hesitation move by Anthony Mason on the break, but Chris Gent can do this, step in and take charges. He is known for that. Not only in the CBA, but back in his days at Ohio State. He'll give up his body as he took the hard hit from Anthony Mason.
6:39 remaining in this first half. Knicks by 2. But thank you, Tom. 5:57 remaining in this first half. Mario Elie on the line. He was fouled by Charles Smith. And the Knicks now lead by 1. Derek Hopper. John Starks to the backcourt. Herrera on the steal. Finds Elie. Returns to Herrera. Rebound Olajuwon. Rebound Elie. Elie mistimed the tip. The Knicks got a break.
Well, the Knicks standing around on their defensive board. The Rockets very active and busy, but unable to knock the ball down. The Rockets have been going to this little trap. They're going to try it again here. They take the Knicks out of their offense with it and just forced a turnover on the play before.
Correction on the score. It is now tied at 34. And Daryl Garrison making the call against the Rockets. Chris Gent call for his first, a call not appreciated by Rockets coach Rudy Tomjanovich.
He wanted to cover his eyes on it, trying to figure out how Daryl Garrison, who was on the other side of the floor, the same side as Rudy Tomjanovich and the Rocket bench, how he could see that little tick on the elbow of Anthony Mason by Chris Gent.
Knicks at the line for the first time as Mason came up short. Here's Patrick Ewing returning, replacing Charles Smith. The Knicks have had difficulty getting to the foul line this series. They finally made their presence felt at the line in the fourth quarter in game number 4 here on Wednesday. Now Gent sitting down. Horry is back. Cassell and Ellie in the backcourt. Olajuwon, Ori, Thorpe up front. Here's pressure by Harper against Cassell. Eric Harper with those long arms looking for the steal. Second violation called on Olajuwon.
And Akeem goes over to Sam Cassell to let him know about moving the basketball so he doesn't get caught in the lane, as Patrick Ewing fronting and just actually Olajuwon in a good position, but he was in the lane too long.
There's Ewing. Well, Patrick Ewing has had the touch thus far tonight. 5 of 10. 10 points, along with 5 rebounds. And it's New York by 3 with just under 5 minutes remaining in the half. Cassell for Olajuwon. Has to throw it back out. Ellie for 3. And Mason handles the rebound. The Knicks have hit their last 4 shots. They double up on Ewing. Finds the open man. Anthony Mason buries the jump shot. Good reaction by Ewing on the double team.
Well, throughout the whole series, every time the Rockets double down on Patrick Ewing, they're always going to leave somebody open. In the early part of the season, it was Oakley. Now it's been Mason and whoever is at the top of the key.
Ewing with that block on Thorpe, and then he lost it. Here comes Starks. Starks for Harper. The basket counts, and the foul. It's a goaltend.
Well, not many fast breaks in this second quarter, but this is what will start them. A great block on Otis Thorpe by Patrick Ewing. And now John Starks delivering in stride to Derek Harper, who will get hit on the play, and the obvious goaltend by Olajuwon as he took it off the glass. And Patrick Ewing saying, yes, give us the hoop as well.
And the Knicks get the field goal. Harper to the line. For Ewing, his 3rd block of the game. Oakley with the rebound. And throws to the backcourt. That is a violation.
And Charles Oakley just trying to gather himself and get the basketball, and felt like he was going to turn it over or walk with the ball, and saw the white shirt and just flipped it there. And as he flipped it, he realized that Patrick Ewing was in the backcourt. As Patrick keeps away from Sam Cassell.
Sheepish reaction by Ewing trying to protect the ball. He knew it was a violation. 7-0 run by the Knicks. This game had been tied at 34. Rockets have missed their last 8 shots. 3.5 to go. First half. Cassell for Thorpe. Oh, Olajuwon ramps it home.
Goodness. He almost had one of those about 2 minutes ago. This time he made sure with the right hand, somehow or other, took it off his left ear and turned it over and through the hoop. Unbelievable athletic play by Olajuwon.
The Knicks 41, Rockets 36. Ewing sets the pick on Cassell. Harper for 3. Ori with the rebound. And back comes Maxwell. Maxwell and Cassell now in the backcourt. Maxwell has not been able to break out in this series. He has been off the mark. Shot clock at 7. Maxwell one-on-one with Starks, and the call is away from the ball against the Knicks.
Well, Akeem Olajuwon coming in on the left side. No block out by Mason as he went for the ball. And it's just all Olajuwon getting up in the air with room to operate as he takes this and just turns it over and down.
Back at Madison Square Garden, Knicks 41 and the Rockets 36. The 1984 draft supplying 2 key members of the Houston Rockets, Akeem Olajuwon and Otis Thorpe. A fellow by the name of Jordan was taken 3rd by the Bulls. Sam Bowie 2nd by Portland. Arguably one of the great drafts in the history of the NBA. 1960 produced Oscar Robertson and Jerry West. 1970, Bob Lanier, Rudy Tomjanovich, and Dave Cowens. But 1984, certainly right there. 2.5 remaining in this first half. Knicks by 5. Starks. Mason on the offensive boards. Rebound, Ewing. Patrick Ewing easily having his best performance of the NBA Finals.
Now that's the second follow-up by Patrick Ewing, and we've seen one by Olajuwon as both centers really timing their takeoffs to finish off on some of these offensive rebounds. And a lot of it is because nobody is putting a body here with Olajuwon in the air as Mason splits the defenders, gives a free run to Patrick Ewing to the glass.
And Ewing called for that foul, his second. Ewing 6 rebounds, 3 on the offensive boards. Just under 2 minutes to go, first half. Olajuwon getting inside, has to throw it out. Hopper knocked it away from Thorpe. Oakley feeding Starks. With 1:40 to go in this first half, we will send it to NBC News. Here's Tom Brokaw. All right, Tom, it is obviously it's so difficult to follow news of that nature. And as we return to Madison Square Garden, tempers flaring between the Rockets and the Knicks with 49 seconds to go in this first half. Here's another look at it while we were away.
And as Olajuwon just tried to gather himself and pick up the basketball, he either inadvertently caught Mason with an elbow in the chest or head area, or intentional, and Mason popping right back up, wanting to go at Olajuwon. Cooler heads trying to prevail. Nobody has thrown a punch yet as the officials trying to figure out what they're going to do about it.
Well, it appears they have called a personal foul and a technical foul on Anthony Mason. And Kenny Smith to the line.
Here's Olajuwon, not able to get his shot off here, and as he tries to clear himself, catches Anthony Mason in the jaw with that padded left elbow, and Anthony Mason feels this is intentional as he tries to clear himself, but there's not a lot of room to move there. And Olajuwon trying to clear himself, but nevertheless, Anthony Mason didn't want anything to do with that kind of elbow and let Olajuwon know about it.
20-second timeout is called by the Knicks, and you can see Patrick Ewing in the face of Anthony Mason, who feels that he was wronged by the elbow from Hakeem Olajuwon and was upset that there was no call against Olajuwon, and the Knicks are trying to settle Mason down. They have been through many similar episodes involving Anthony Mason during the regular season.
Oh, it's so difficult for this Knicks team. They play with such high emotion, a lot of tension, very physical, very aggressive, and you go over that line sometimes, and it's hard to pull yourself back and be under control and be poised all the time. We've seen it happen to Mason. We've seen it happen to John Stark. We saw it happen to Patrick Ewing in the New Jersey Nets series, but it's up to the other teammates and, of course, the coaching staff and Pat Riley to try to keep people all on the same page. Yes, you want to play with emotion, but you must stay under control.
It's the Knicks 45 and the Rockets 37. 49 seconds remaining in the half. Horry. And back comes Starks. Mason ahead of the field. And he's fouled by Horry. Fouled hard by Horry. You'll recall back in game 4, it was Horry fouled hard by Mason. It was called a flagrant foul, and Horry hurt his lower back and his wrist, and now John Starks had something to say to Robert Horry, and this is being called a flagrant foul.
And John Starks and now Maxwell are being teed up as well by referee Eddie Rush, as the officials, all they can do right now just to keep everybody calm down as Anthony Mason on that breakaway, a natural left-hander, decides to go up and try to dunk the thing with his right arm, right hand, and that enabled Robert Horry to get back into the play to commit the very hard foul, and now a flagrant foul to prevent the dunk. And it was interesting, Robert Horry said after he was hit in game 4 that he didn't think it was a flagrant foul. He thought it was just a good hard foul. It'll be interesting to see what Anthony Mason feels about this, as Robert Horry clearly unable to get up high enough to block the shot, took the arm and took Anthony Mason hard to the floor.
The technicals called on Starks and Maxwell. The flagrant on Horry, sending Mason to the line for the 2, and the Knicks will get possession. It was Otis Thorpe who was most upset, as you take another look at the hit by Horry, most upset about the Mason hard foul on Horry in game number 4.
One more look head on as Mason decided to use that right arm, and then pulling back, it enabled Horry to catch up and commit the hard hack, as Maxwell and Starks, who have been relatively quiet in this series as far as jawing with each other, finally Maxwell could not keep it zipped, went over and said something to Maxwell, and Eddie Rush saw it, got them both.
In fact, this series has been quiet, which certainly can be considered unexpected. These are two very emotional teams. It's the first series of incidents that we have seen. Harper gets inside. And the Knicks with a 14-3 run now lead 48-37. We are down to 10 seconds remaining in the half. The lead overthrow. Starks for Harper. 1 second left. Harper gets it off. Will it count? No, it will not. Good effort, though, by Mason. And the Knicks receiving a standing ovation as they head off the court. Welcome back to Madison Square Garden in New York. Marv Albert with Matt Guokas. A look at the Miller Genuine Draft halftime statistics. The Knicks at 51%, their best shooting since back in game 2. Rockets at 38%. And Patrick Ewing with a very solid first half. 6 for 11. 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 blocked shots. The Knicks concluded matters in the first half with a 14-3 run. The game had been tied at 34. Knicks lead by 11. Robert Horry up front with Hakeem Olajuwon and Otis Thorpe. Kenny Smith and Vernon Maxwell in the backcourt. Once again, the Knicks backcourt has outplayed the Rocket backcourt. Knocked away by Starks. 4 remaining on the 24.
Well, we said in the opening, Marv, that the Rocket guards were either going to have to, not either, they're going to have to both stop Derek Harper, make things tougher for him, and also take the ball to the basket. And right now, the Knicks' pressure on the perimeter has been stifling. And if the Rockets don't get more aggressive against it, try to beat it to the basket or at least to the baseline, they're going to take shots like that.
And it's a 24-second violation. Thorpe not able to hit the rim. Pat Riley opening the second half with Derek Harper and John Starks at the guards. Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, Charles Smith up front. Another good one for Hoffer, 5 of 8, 10 points. He hit 5 3-pointers in game number 4. Vernon Maxwell and Kenny Smith continue to have their shooting problems. We're just underway, third quarter. Knicks tonight 0 for 5, though, from downtown. Here's Smith. And rebounded by Horry. Olajuwon. Knocked away by Starks, but a foul against the Knicks. It's on Patrick Ewing. That is his third. A look at the backcourt scoring tonight. So the Knicks have had the edge once again. Vernon Maxwell is 6 for 27 for this series. John Starks. Rather, Vernon Maxwell with his first 3-pointer. He has 5 points, and the Knicks now lead by 8. Knocked away by Olajuwon.
And this is the way the Rockets started this ballgame, being much more aggressive at the defensive end as far as backcourt pressure is concerned. And when you do that, now you can get up on the wings and possibly deny passes and be more aggressive in the post as far as knocking passes away.
3 seconds! 3 seconds!
Starks with the shot clock running down, went to the reverse. And the Knicks lead by 10.
A sudden pick and roll, and John Starks took the rest of it to the basket by taking it to the other side, getting around Olajuwon, and then avoiding the shot clock by using the rim as a shield.
Maxwell. Thorpe able to keep it alive. Here's Maxwell for 3. Ewing batting it aside. Charles Smith taking it to the basket. And he draws the foul.
Well, John Starks with the shot clock winding down a bit. Patrick Ewing gives him the little bump and the turn of the corner on Olajuwon, and then nicely using that rim to avoid the potential shot block by Robert Horry, as Charles Smith on the free throw line in a fast break situation. A real nice job, hesitation dribble, crossover dribble, and then got into the lane and drew the foul. Couldn't get the shot to fall, nor the first free throw.
Robert Horry called for that foul, his second. 2 minutes gone by in this third quarter. Knicks lead by 11. Game number 6 of this series, Sunday night at the Summit in Houston. 7 o'clock Eastern Time here on NBC. Olajuwon had it knocked away by Smith. Ewing stripped. Good play. Rockets able to get back to break up that fast break attack.
I don't think Olajuwon realized that Charles Smith was on him inside on the switch play and just put up a very weak effort there as Charles Smith knocked it out of there as Patrick Ewing goes flying in on the left side, but just got stripped of the ball before he got in the act of shooting.
Smith is fouled. Olajuwon went for the block. And for Keem, that is his first foul.
And he keeps glaring down Daryl Garrison, the referee here. And a good call by Daryl as Olajuwon blocked that shot cleanly up high, but Daryl on the baseline was able to see the left hand and arm of Akeem pulling down the shoulder of Charles Smith. Good vision by Daryl Garrison.
And Smith is 1 for 3 at the line. Now the crowd trying to encourage Charles Smith. The Knicks free throw shooting has been way off. 3 of 8 thus far.
Well, we saw this kind of play from Charles in game 4. He took 15 shots, and many of them were penetration type shots, getting into the lane and trying to draw contact and finish. He only made 5 of those 15, but he was aggressive taking the ball to the hoop.
The Knicks lead is now 12. Vegas their biggest lead of the game. Olajuwon could not get it off. Maxwell short on the three. Thorpe. Nice play by Horry to keep it alive. And the Knicks continue to do an excellent defensive job on Hakeem Olajuwon. He's 4 of 8, 8 points. He's also turned it over 7 times.
And for the time being, Charles Smith is watching him, and right now Olajuwon doesn't know what to do against him.
Back comes Maxwell. Rockets with the ball. They're down by 10. Thorpe gets inside, and he's fouled by Smith. Otis Thorpe able to beat Charles Smith. That's 3 on Smith, and Thorpe will go to the line.
This seems to be the best thing for the Rockets to do in these transition plays where they don't have numbers, more offensive players than defensive players. Look to get one of their big men, Otis Thorpe or Hakeem Olajuwon, down in the low post and dump the ball into them and try to get something going to the basket before the New York defense, half-court defense, can set. Because right now when Kenny Smith brings the ball up the floor, the pressure by Harper is keeping him from penetrating anywhere. And all Kenny Smith is doing is going east to west, and that's not going to get the job done for the Rockets.
Knick lead is now 9. 3.5 gone by in the third quarter. Smith went to the left hand. Oakley wide open. So the Knicks have gone cold after the good shooting first half. And Hakeem Olajuwon with only 2 points since late in the first quarter. Olajuwon tried to dish it off to Horry. Knocked out of bounds by the Knicks.
Once again with Charles Smith on his back, the Rockets are starting to do more cutting now when they throw the ball into Olajuwon. He does his best job inside offensively when he catches and makes his move quickly. He's hesitating right now.
And Olajuwon guarded by Smith. Goes to the jump hook and was way off. Oakley from Starks. Smith gets to it. There's Charles Smith, rejected by Hakeem Olajuwon. And Derek Harper looks to regroup.
Well, the reason Charles Smith got that offensive rebound was Olajuwon was trying to box out Ewing, and it took him out of position, and that's how Smith came up with the loose one.
Derek Harper continues the excellent shooting. 6 of 9 from the field. He has 12 points. The Knicks lead 54-43. Olajuwon lost it. Starks protecting it, getting it to Oakley, feeding Ewing. And the Rockets take a timeout with 6:49 remaining. Third quarter. And this, the play of the night. The Knicks extend to a 13-point lead. Thank you, Tom. 6 minutes, 49 seconds remaining. Third quarter, the Knicks with their biggest lead, a margin of 13. They have outscored the Rockets 22-9 since the game was tied at 34 back in the second quarter. Thorpe drawing the foul. Patrick Ewing matched up with Otis Thorpe. Charles Oakley also involved, and Oakley is called for his third.
For the first time in a long while, the Rockets do a good job of executing and getting the ball in excellent position right in front of the rim to Otis Thorpe. Got away with a little hook on Patrick Ewing before he got in the act of shooting. Mark, we've been talking so much about what the Houston guards have to do. Yes, they have to play much better, but really, without Hakeem Olajuwon playing well, and he is not having a particularly good ball game tonight at all, unable to get good shots and catch the ball, the Rockets are going to have a very difficult time in this ball game. The big guy's got to get going.
Horry for 3. Robert Horry with a three-pointer, his second of the night. And the Knicks now lead 56-47. That's the fifth from downtown for the Rockets, 5 of 12. Three-pointers. Olajuwon jumping out, knocking it away from Starks. Shot clock at 5. Maxwell broke it up. Good hands by the Rockets.
Olajuwon, who can do that, go out on the floor and chase smaller players and get steals, knock the ball loose. Is maybe going to try to get himself going at least at the defensive end, which might get him in turn going at the offensive end.
That clock running down. Down to 2, down to 1. Ewing, a 3. It has all gone right for Patrick Ewing. And for the Knicks, their first three-pointer of the game. Ewing now has 17. The Knicks lead by 12. Morey got the step. Starks on the recovery. Lost to Olajuwon. And Akeem able to lay it home. The Knicks lead is now 10.
Well, there's those lightning quick hands of Olajuwon to pick that one off. And on that Ewing 3, that shot was challenged by Olajuwon.
5:25 remaining in the third. Mark Albert, Matt Dukas, Bob Rashad, Hannah Storm, Bob Costas from Madison Square Garden. This game 5 of the best of 7 NBA Finals. Starks with the steal. 1 and 2 by Maxwell. And then Vernon able to brace the fall of John Starks.
The shot clock winding down. Patrick Ewing falling back. You see double zeros there. He did get the shot off on time over the outstretched arm of Olajuwon, as Pat Riley loves that shot just like he called it.
Knicks by 10 points. With just under 5 minutes remaining in the third. Ewing setting the screen for Harper. Thorpe fires down to Smith. Kenny Smith brings the Rockets within 8. And for Smith, that is his second field goal. He has 6 points. Oakley down deep. And back comes Maxwell. So the Rockets carving into the lead. Thorpe stopped. And Ewing protecting. The ball goes back to Houston.
Well, Patrick Ewing had been triple teamed trying to get the ball out of there. And John Starks, very upset that he couldn't pull down that outlet pass, gave a good hard kick over there at the scorer's table. A couple of phones went awry. John takes it out on the inanimate objects as well.
He does. Charles Smith sitting down, replaced by Anthony Mason, who had the outstanding second quarter. Mason now back to guarding Olajuwon. And Akeem able to hit over Mason. Akeem Olajuwon has a good 5 inches on Anthony Mason, who has played him in very physical fashion and has done a good job. And a timeout has been called. Houston with a 10-3 run, now trailing by only 6 points.
Well, in this third quarter, Pat Riley has had Charles Smith on Olajuwon, and now Mason, as Mace forces him to take this off the wrong foot. But Olajuwon starting to warm up.
Thank you, Tom. As we mentioned earlier, it is difficult to make the transition from what is taking place in Southern California, but of course we will keep you posted on developments. And we're ready to go back to Tom Brokaw and NBC News coverage. Here at Madison Square Garden, 6:49 remaining in the third. The Knicks now lead by 1. We'll bring you up to date when we come back after these words from your local station. Back at Madison Square Garden in New York, Marv Albert with Matt Guokas. 6:49 left in the fourth quarter. In the third, the Rockets turned it around after trailing by as many as 13, ending the quarter with an 18-5 run. Akeem Olajuwon coming up big after a quiet first half. Rockets 5 of 8 from the field in the fourth quarter. Knicks have outscored the Rockets 11-10 thus far in the fourth. And Patrick Ewing overall with 25 points and 11 rebounds. Knicks by 1. Olajuwon giving the Rockets a 1-point lead with 6.5 remaining in this fourth quarter. Game 5 of the best of 7. The series shifting back to the Summit in Houston on Sunday. The series tied at 2. Here is Mason. Ewing soaring for the rebound. And they will jump it up as Mason hits the deck along with Herrera. The Knicks at one point went 5 minutes and 5 seconds without a field goal back in the third quarter.
Anthony Mason getting in there, trying to come away with that offensive rebound, getting all tied up with Carl Herrera, who had an excellent first half. Herrera, that is, and has come up with a couple of big field goals here in the fourth quarter. And a big reason for the comeback of Houston is Olajuwon has been much more assertive when he gets the ball. Not hanging with it, not being tentative, making his move quickly. And of course, Patrick Ewing is just having a monster game in every area.
Yes, 25 points, 12 rebounds, 6 blocked shots. Hakeem Olajuwon now 18 points, 6 rebounds. However, he's turned it over 8 times. And now the matchup is Olajuwon facing Ewing, and Olajuwon came up with a steal. Rockets by 1. 5:50 to go in this fourth quarter. Olajuwon played by Oakley. Goes to the fadeaway. Yes. And the Rockets now lead 75-72. Knicks with Harper and Starks at the guards. Ewing, Mason, Oakley up front. And the Knicks guards have outplayed the Rocket backcourt. Ewing able to save it. Shot clock at 4. Oakley rejected, and a foul called by Dick Pavetta. It is called on Herrera.
Patrick Ewing feeling good about himself, putting the ball on the floor, but Olajuwon with those lightning quick hands reaches in to flick it out of there. And watch the quick move here by Olajuwon. The quick little head fake, the little juke, gets himself into the lane, gets himself into the air before any defensive help can come down. In the early part of the ball game, he was holding and not really making a strong move, just turning around and trying to go maybe straight up. Now he's freeing himself from the defender.
Charles Oakley on the line for the first time, a 78% free throw shooter, coming off a terrific game here on Wednesday with 16 points and 20 rebounds, although he is playing hurt. With Charles, 8 points, only 5 rebounds tonight. We come up on 5 minutes to go in the fourth. Rockets lead by 1. Olajuwon, and he is fouled again. So Hakeem will head to the line as Oakley collects his 4th.
This time Oakley making it a little bit tougher for Olajuwon, and Hakeem has to take that extra large step to try to get himself away from Oakley, but the push and the shove in there as the Rockets have almost exclusively gone to a screen role play on the left side, and they've got a lot of mileage out of it. Not so much with the screen and the little, so it's not a roll, it's a little fade to the corner, but ducking into the middle of the lane. They've gotten some easy field goals there and some cross-court passes.
First time that Olajuwon has gone to the line tonight. At one point, the Knicks led 56-43. That with 6.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Strong comeback by Houston. They now lead by 3. Oakley, and he was fouled by Olajuwon. That's his second.
Well, that's 2 occasions where Charles Oakley has had openings inside and has taken it very strong to the basket. He gathered his feet very well there on a sore left ankle, a bruised right foot. Knew he was in a heap of trouble against Olajuwon, who has blocked many of his shots throughout this series, but the body contact forced by Oakley gets him back on the free throw line.
And the Knicks 8 of 9 from the line here in the fourth quarter.
Interesting to see Kenny Smith out there getting the finish so far. He finished in game 1 the last couple of minutes and made a big play for Houston on a pick and roll play, penetration kickoff to Otis Thorpe. But since then, it's been primarily Sam Cassell finishing up at the point guard position. Kenny Smith's getting the call so far.
Houston by 1. Rockets with the excellent shooting, as you see, in the second half. Olajuwon played by Ewing. Again to the fadeaway. Hakeem Olajuwon converting with another fadeaway jump shot. He's 11 of 17, 24 points. Rockets 79, the Knicks 76. John Starks on a finger roll drive brings the Knicks within one.
Well, he tried to look off Olajuwon, unable to do it. Hakeem stayed with him, but he was still able to finger roll over his arm.
Well, the Knicks have been involved in a couple memorable Game 5s earlier in the playoffs. Olajuwon had the shot stopped by Ewing. The Knicks in possession, down by one. 3:35 remaining in the fourth quarter. Harper. And back come the Rockets. You recall Game 5 of the Knicks-Chicago series at the Garden. A game that saw Scottie Pippen foul Hubert Davis. And that ended up with the Knicks winning it at the foul line.
Olajuwon likes to use that shoulder to create some space, bump into Ewing, and push back. Patrick did a good job of holding his ground. Olajuwon still able to get it, as Sam Cassell extremely happy with it.
As we resume here, Vernon Maxwell draws the foul with 3:13 remaining. In the fourth quarter, Rockets with a 79-78 lead. John Starks called for the foul, and Vernon Maxwell for the line for the first time. As I started to mention a couple of minutes back, Game 5s here at Madison Square Garden have been memorable for the Knicks during the playoffs. The Game 5 against Chicago, that controversial call. Scottie Pippen with the foul on Hubert Davis, and the Knicks won it at the line with Davis hitting the free throws. And then Game 5 of the series against the Pacers, Reggie Miller on fire for 25 points in the fourth quarter. Indiana was able to win it, but the Knicks came back and took the series. Here the Rockets are up by 2 as we come up on 3 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Ewing able to get down deep. And the back tap handled by the Rockets. Maxwell and Smith at the guard. Olajuwon fourth, and Herrera up front. Maxwell with the step. The pass broken up. Recovered by Herrera. 8 on the shot clock. Kenny Smith stripped. And knocked out of bounds. It'll be Knick ball.
Well, the Rocket guards now starting to penetrate, take the ball to the basket hard. 2 straight times Houston tried to run pick and roll for Vernon Maxwell. He got into the lane. That time Kenny Smith dropping his head going to the basket. They're aggressive here in the fourth.
And a change of strategy for Rudy Tomjanovich as Starks hits a 3. And the Knicks lead by 1. A change of strategy, staying with Kenny Smith on the floor at the end of the game, something he has rarely done the last couple of years during the regular season. It had been Scott Brooks and then Sam Cassell. Maxwell trying to match the 3. And a loose ball foul called on the Knicks.
Well, John Starks, who's been quiet, but has been a big factor for the Knicks in this series, late with 3-pointers, just got his toes behind that line.
And you can see the Knick backcourt doing it once again. Starks with 8 of his 16 here in the fourth quarter. The foul was called on Ewing. He has 4. Smith. Rebound, Herrera rejected by Ewing. Harper ahead of the field, and he is fouled by Smith. The Knicks looking for a flagrant foul call.
Well, the Rockets have gone almost exclusively, as we watch both Herrera and Oakley, as they took exception to the New York Knicks with that hard foul on Derek Harper, trying to finish off that fast break play.
And it is not called a flagrant, it is a personal foul.
as Carl Herrera worked himself in to get the offensive rebound. And now the throw ahead, John Starks to Derek Harper as he got hit hard from behind. Smith not really making a play on the ball, taking the body, but no flagrant foul is called. At the other end, the Rockets have been going to the same pick and roll play. They're ducking in Olajuwon, but neither Maxwell nor Smith are looking at him. They are looking for their own shot right now. And Hakeem has had a good fourth quarter. He's got 8 points. But the last 4 or 5 set plays, they haven't gotten him the ball.
Derek Harper now 1 of 2 from the line, 13 points. Knicks lead by 2. There has been no change in the Brentwood, California situation outside the home of O.J. Simpson. If developments warrant, we will switch back to Tom Brokaw and NBC News. A minute 50 to go in the fourth. The crowd reacts with the Knicks up by 3 and the Rockets calling for time. Ewing, 11 of 21, 25 points, 12 rebounds, plus the 8 blocks. His season high, 6 blocks. The Knicks 83, the Rockets 80. A minute 50 to go in the fourth. Rockets open up this fourth quarter red hot. Getting 8 of the first 12. They missed the last 4. Sam Cassell has come on for Kenny Smith. And Cassell has had his ups and downs in the late stages of the games this series. There is Horry for 3. Came up short. And Starks feeds it ahead. Harper gets it down. And Mason gives the Knicks a 5-point lead.
Well, the Knicks have been releasing on long jump shots throughout this whole series. They've got about 3 field goals on it tonight, and maybe none bigger than that one.
7-0 run by the Knicks. And Houston has called for time. They are down to 1 timeout remaining.
Well, Charles Oakley once again hustling, out-hustling everybody for that loose rebound, diving into the crowd, saving it, and the breakaway to Mason.
Still much time remaining, a minute 25, and as Houston ball as we resume, the Rockets do have 1 timeout left. And the Knicks have 3 and a 20. The Knicks with the last 7 points, a 7-0 run. Fourth gets it in for Olajuwon. Rockets having difficulty locating a shot. Now Maxwell penetrates. Rebounded by Ewing. Lost Olajuwon on the steal. Finds Horry, and he's fouled. Horry fouled by Oakley. Also had some words for Robert Horry.
Well, first of all, some unbelievably tough defense, and it shouldn't be unbelievable. He's doing it all series. Derek Harper would not let Sam Cassell the ball, but on this Ewing rebound, he got hit in the arms, the back of the head, the neck by Olajuwon to get it back to Horry, and Patrick Ewing could not believe that a foul was not called on Olajuwon as he lost that ball.
Now on Mason, Horry on the line for the first time tonight. Robert Horry, a 73% free throw shooter. Only 2 of 11 from the field, coming back from the back and wrist injury. Hits 1 of 2, and the Knicks now lead 85-81. A minute 6 remaining, fourth quarter. Knicks at 1 point, led by as many as 13. The Rockets came roaring back in the third quarter. Starks on the dribble penetration, tipped home by Ewing, but it will not count. Foul before the shot. It's on Olajuwon.
Well, John Starks getting pressured. He doesn't care what the time or score is right now. He's going to do what comes naturally to him. When you do get pressured, take the ball hard to the basket. But the best shot blocker in the playoffs, Hakeem Olajuwon, was waiting for him there. Hakeem felt that Starks used his left arm to push off. Nevertheless, the foul called on Hakeem, and Starks will shoot a couple.
John Starks, a 75% free throw shooter, and has been dependable at the end of games. 1 for 2 this evening. of his 17 points have come here in the fourth quarter. The Knicks 86, the Rockets 81. Ed Rush telling Sam Cassell to get away from the lineup. Can't have two Rockets on each side. The Knicks lead by 6 as they seek to go back to Houston up 3 games to 2. Olajuwon setting up for a 3 that cuts in and gives it up. Olajuwon. Ewing lost it. Rebound Horry. Rebound Thorpe. We're down to 35 seconds. And Ed Rush calling a jump ball.
Well, a very tentative sequence there by the Houston Rockets. Olajuwon first thought about a three-pointer, then ducked in, hesitated on the shot, put it up there, and then a whole bunch of Rockets keep getting cracks at it before Ewing got stripped. And watch this, Horry no good, Thorpe can't get it down. Everybody battling in there to keep the ball alive, and nobody can get a handle on it.
The Knicks are calling for a 20-second timeout. A 9-1 run by the Knicks. And the Rockets have missed their last 8 shots. 33 and 8/10 seconds to go. We'll be right back. If the Knicks can hang on here over the final 33 and 8/10 seconds, they'll take a 3 games to 2 lead in the best of 7. Only twice in NBA Finals history a team down 3 games to 2 has won Game 6 and 7 at home to win the title. Pat Riley's Lakers did it in 1988, and the Syracuse Nats did it in 1955. And the Knicks gain off the turnover. The foul is given by Cassell. That is his 6th. 28 seconds to go. And with the Rockets over the limit, Mason will go to the line. The Houston Rockets without a field goal the last 3 minutes and 57 seconds. Sam Cassell departs, only 2 of 5. The Knicks have hit 13 of the last 14 at the line, which is exceptional free throw shooting for the Knicks, who have struggled at the foul line this season.
They have it getting to the line a little bit more, as you mentioned before. John Starks has been sharp at the end of the ballgame. He made 4 for 4 down the stretch in the game the other night. The Rockets really got themselves in trouble by going to so many pick and roll plays there with about 4 or 5 minutes to go in the game after pretty much having their way going inside to Olajuwon while he was producing, and then they just went to that pick and roll, and it took them out of their offense.
Anthony Mason with 15 points matches his playoff high at 15 against the Bulls in game number 2. Game 6 of this series, Sunday night in Houston, will be on hand starting 7 o'clock Eastern time. And if there is a game 7, it will take place at the Summit in Houston next Wednesday night. So the Rockets, with the home court advantage, will try to take advantage. But this one is headed back to Houston with the Knicks up 3 games to 2. We're down to 28 seconds remaining. The Knicks now lead 89-81. Back in Madison Square Garden, the New York Knicks with an 89-81 lead on the Houston Rockets. Rockets just used their final timeout. 28, 8/10 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. It has been an enormous game for Patrick Ewing. 25 points, 13 rebounds, and an NBA Finals record-tying 8 block shots. Hakeem Olajuwon with 24 points came on in the second half after a slow start. 11 for 19. First 24 points. 8 turnovers, though, for Hakeem, although most of those turnovers took place in the first half.
And then he started to get it going in that late third, early fourth quarter, but the Rockets stopped going to him.
The Knicks at one point led by 13. The Rockets with the good run in the third. And they had an 80-78 lead with 3 minutes to play, but the Knicks have taken over down the stretch. Kenny Smith back on the floor. Olajuwon for 3 and hits it. Hakeem Olajuwon brings the Rockets within 5, and the Knicks take a timeout with 21 seconds remaining. Hakeem Olajuwon hits a 3-pointer to keep the Rockets alive.
Well, nobody really expecting Olajuwon to take that shot. He will let them go from time to time, as will Patrick Ewing. That time, he had an excellent look at the hoop.
There's been lots of cheering here in the New York area throughout the day. The Stanley Cup champion New York Rangers honored with a ticker tape parade in Lower Manhattan earlier in the day, and then were given the keys to the city by Mayor Rudy Giuliani. That was at City Hall at about 1 o'clock this afternoon, and the cheering here at the Garden tonight as the Knicks seek to go in front 3-2 on the Rockets. Mario Elie has checked back in. Mason inbounding and throws it away. The pass intended for Starks, and it will be Houston ball.
Well, the Knicks wanted Anthony Mason to run the baseline, which you can do after a made field goal. You see the quizzical look on Pat Riley's face, but as he kind of stopped underneath the basket, and the backboard really blocked him, and he had to throw it on such a low trajectory and fired way over the head of John Stark.
Clock was readjusted. 22 2/10 seconds remaining. Rockets do not have any timeouts, so they must get it in. They're down by only 5 off that 3-point shot by Hakeem. The second of the playoffs. Ball knocked away by Ewing and handled by Mason, who is fouled by Elie. With the Rockets over the foul limit, Mason will go to the line. He's 4 for 6 at the line. 19 seconds remaining now in the fourth.
Oh, the whole Knicks holding their men on that underneath out-of-bounds play, and nobody could break free. So they just lobbed the ball up in the area of Olajuwon, and Patrick Ewing got the long left arm up there to knock it loose to Anthony Mason.
It's been an outstanding game for Mason. 16 points, 9 rebounds. Now he is 4 of 7 from the line. The Knicks have done the job at the line in the fourth quarter. They're 14 of 16. The Knicks 90, the Rockets 84. Kenny Smith trying to push it down in a hurry. Horry scooped up the pass, not able to hit the 3. Elie finds Olajuwon. Good fake on Ewing, this time not able to convert. And a foul on Horry with 4 and 8/10 seconds to go. So John Starks is headed to the line.
It was interesting the last couple of days, Pat Riley talking about his team, the fact that none of these players have ever been this far or in this position before. And it's going to be so important for them to eradicate all negative thoughts that might creep into their head coming down the stretch of the ball game, and that they would have to reach down for poise, power, and force, 3 of his favorite words for his team. And they certainly did it tonight. This is the game they obviously needed and wanted to put themselves in a position to win one more. Now, they know it's going to be very tough going back to the summit in Houston, but also the Rockets know that they'll have their hands full and just cannot rely on their home court, even though they still own home court advantage.
And the Houston Rockets concluding this game missing 10 of their last 11 shots. They've converted only 1 field goal the last 4.5 minutes. The Knicks 91, Rockets 84, and this one is headed back to Houston with the Knicks up 3-2, and again John Starks playing a major role. 11 of his 19 have come here in the fourth quarter. Standing ovation for the New York Knicks as Mason inbounds, and Starks will dribble it out. The Knicks 91, the Rockets 84.